So I finally made it to rank 50 in Star Wars Battlefront, which is the highest rank in the game. So it's time for me to review this game, give you guys my whole thoughts on it. It took me around 50 hours to get to 50, to rank 50. A little bit less because some of that time was spent doing solo mission survival and like 1v1 battles versus friends, and now that helps you level up. But anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with what's really obvious about this game, and everyone's been praising it for, and that is the fact that the graphics and the sound are fantastic. The graphics this is the best looking game I've ever played. It looks amazing. Like, just seeing all the battles and everything unfold in front of you, and just, oh my gosh, everything looks so great. Tatooine looks great. Endor is my favorite map. Endor just looks so spectacular. The way the graphics move and everything, the brush, so the trees falling over and the explosions and everything's just, it's perfect. And as far as the sound goes, for the most part, it's pretty great. But there are some voice acting for the heroes that's just terrible. Darth Vader is horrible. So is Luke and Leia's voice actors. Han's voice actor is alright to me. I think he's fine. He's not great, but he's not bad either. The Emperor's good as well. And Boba Fett's voice actor is probably the best in the game because they got the same guy who played Jango Fett to do Boba Fett's voice. So I thought that was really cool, and he sounds, all legit and everything because he did play Jango Fett, and they did dub him over in the special editions. But yeah, the voice acting is pretty bad for the most part, but besides that, the sound is great. The music is fantastic. I love hearing the different themes, and they play during the intense parts, like towards the end of the game, and whenever the shields on the walkers are down, and so that's really cool they did that. Although there is one distinctive track that's really classic missing from this game.
Tonight, finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, it's just the carbon nights off me. I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, told me get myself together. Now I got myself together.
Now, besides that track missing and the voice acting, this game feels exactly like Star Wars. It immerses you in the world. It feels just like the movies. The big battles going on, the lasers flying, the sounds, everything. It feels so great. And it looks and feels exactly like Star Wars. They really did a great job of bringing Star Wars to life in this game. But what about the gameplay? That's what really matters. That is what's going to keep you coming back to Battlefront long term. Now let's start off with the shooting mechanics. The shooting mechanics to me are pretty great. I really like them. It's an arcade style shooter. It's not like Counter-Strike or Battlefield or anything like that. It's more fast paced, and one of the big things for it is the fact of you have to lead your shots, and you have to know how to do that, because made it from the time you shoot your weapon to when the laser hits your target, it takes a little while because they slowed it down so that way you can get the cinematic effect of seeing the laser fly through the air just like the movies. So that way you'll be seeing these big battles of just lasers flying back and forth, and if it was going faster you wouldn't even see the laser. So that's why they slowed it down, and adds another element to the gameplay to where you have to get used to that. And another thing is it's arcade fast paced where you have to constantly be moving, otherwise you're at a disadvantage. Just keep moving. There's no point in like standing still and shooting someone. Just keep moving and shooting, and I really like it. It's fast-paced action. It's a lot of fun, and some people think it's too casual, but not in my opinion. To me, like, bad players do bad and good players do good. For example, me and my friends play both Battlefront and CSGO, so let's compare our KD ratios from both those games, since one is supposedly a casual game and the other is obviously not. So in Battlefront I have a 2.0 KD ratio, my friend has a 0.7 KD ratio. Now let's look at our KDs in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I have a 1.28 and he has a 0.86. So yeah, mine is lower in Counter-Strike, but still pretty good, I'd say. His is higher in Counter-Strike. yet it's still not that great of a KD ratio. So yeah, apparently my friend who's not too great at these games has a higher KD ratio in a game that is supposed to be a very hardcore shooter than Battlefront, which is supposed to be a very lax and casual shooter. So I would say that shows the fact that Battlefront is not a casual shooter. Good players do good, bad players do bad. I have a better KD ratio in Battlefront than Counter-Strike, but I'd say I'm good at both games. And my friend who's not too great at both games but still has fun at them, he just still doesn't do too great at either game, as you can see from the KD ratio. So I'd say it stays just like every other game. If you're good at shooters, you'll probably be good at Battlefront. If you're bad at shooters, you'll probably be bad at Battlefront. It's not casual. It's not like, oh, magical, because it's so casual, if you're bad at the game, you will do good. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, that is not to say that this game is super hardcore either, and like it's for a specific type of audience. No, it is more open than other games like Battlefield 4 or CS:GO, but it's not extremely casual either. Not anyone can do good. Like I was saying, good players do good, bad players do bad, and that's how it works. Anyways, there's also a melee in this game, and the melee is really janky because you think it would be, hey, come up from behind someone and it just takes one cap to kill them. Come up from the front and it takes 2 shots to kill them. No, it's just completely random. You'll just come up and sometimes you'll 2-shot a person, sometimes you'll 1-shot a person. It doesn't make any sense. But that being said, though, when you do cap a person, it is really satisfying. And yes, that was a Rhodian pretending to be a Tusken Raider there at the end. And that brings me to another thing in this game, which is emotes. And everyone uses emotes. This doesn't really affect the game at all, but they are a fun little addition. And especially at the beginning of the game, because the newest patch came out. And what that does is you load into the game, you just sit there until the game starts. So everyone's there at the beginning, like in their spawn. And everyone just sits there, and it's basically an orgy of emotes. And I have to say, emotes are just way better than teabagging. It's great to just kill an enemy and then do the Tusken Raider emote on top of them. And also, the emotes, well, I don't know if it's just me, but the emotes sound like 10 times funnier when you do them as a female character. But anyways, back to gameplay. So on the 40-player game modes, you have a bunch of different vehicles. For the Empire, you have the AT-ST and the AT-AT on Walker Assault. These things are really powerful, do a lot of damage, and the AT-ST can be taken down in a matter of seconds. I've had it happen to me tons of times. It all just depends what your loadout is, if you have the ion torpedo or ion shot or something, or if you picked up an anti-vehicle turret from one of the pickups on the map. Those do massive amounts of damage to any vehicle. But the point is, the AT-ST can just wreck house, or it can be taken down in seconds. It all depends on the loadout and what everyone has. Now, the AT-AT's main weakness is its field of view. It can't see a whole lot, so if you're out of its way, it's fine. You're not going to get killed by it. But if you're in its way, you're just basically dead. This thing just destroys and does tons of damage. And I think they did a good balance with the AT-AT. Now, there's also turrets on the map that everyone can use, and for the most part, these are done pretty well. They're powerful, but they can be taken down really easily, except for the turbo laser, which is only on the Solus map. This turret is just so overpowered, and it really does need to be patched. It's pretty broken. Just you can go in. I went in there once from going 4-5 to 20-5 just by sitting in a turbo laser, and really the main thing that can take it out the fastest are the AT-STs and the anti-vehicle turrets. Besides that, it takes a good amount of time to take these things down, because they're not easy to take down. They have a good field of view of everything, especially the placement of these turrets, they're placed to where they're like right there on the objective, so you're trying to kill, so you're basically just killing people that are going after the objective. It's like, why would you place it there? It's too powerful. That needs to be patched. Now, as far as the starships go, the Empire have their TIE fighters and TIE interceptors. These things are all right. The flying in this game, I'm playing on PC, flying is all right. It's not that great. It's better than the beta, and the more I fly, the more I get used to it. It's okay. It's nothing special. It's not near as good as Battlefront 2's flying, which was great. Like, I don't know why they couldn't really just copy that, but it's meh. The flying's not bad, but it's not good either. And again, this is on PC. I heard it's way better with a controller. But yeah, and for the Rebels side, they have the A-Wings and the X-Wings. The A-Wings just do tons of damage. Like, holy crap. The A-Wings are the best in this game because they maneuver great, their powers are great, well, their specials are great, and they're the best. That sort of is what that's what balances out the fact that the Empire has the AT-STs and the Rebels don't have any ground forces, well, I mean for vehicles, so instead they gave them the advantage in the air, and that's how it balances out. Also, you can take down AT-STs really quickly if you hop in an A-Wing. You can just fly down and take them out, but yeah, that's sort of how they balance the vehicles out. And of course, the vehicles are pickups on the map, and you have tons of pickups for different things. You can pick up vehicles, or you can pick up these different power-ups. I really like the pickups. I think it's a cool system to have, and like every time you pick one up, oh, it's like, what am I gonna get next? Although I'm kind of like always hoping for a smart rocket, and you can really get stuff that'll turn the tide of the game. If you pick up an orbital strike on Walker Assault, that'll do like 25% damage on an AT-AT, so that's really good. And yeah, I like that system. Also, you can pick up heroes, and let me tell you, picking up, like, it's the most exciting thing when you see a hero, because you just race towards it. It's like tunnel vision. Nothing else matters. There's like 5,000 stormtroopers around it, and you're a rebel. It doesn't matter. You're going straight into that crowd trying to get that hero token, and it's great. I do like that system because, you know, in Battlefront 2, it was whoever was the best player got it, and I like that system as well, but this adds a bit more of a special feeling when you get it, because it's like, oh crap, anyone can get it. I got it. Whereas before, it was earned. It's great. I'm not bashing the Battlefront 2 system, by the way. I love the Battlefront 2 system. If they would have had it in this, I would have been fine with that as well, but I'm also fine with this, either or. I don't really have a preference one over the other, but I do like this system as well, because the luck to it is kind of cool. It's like, yes, I got it, yes. And once you do get the heroes, my god, the heroes are so much fun. I love the heroes. I feel like they nailed every single one. I love them. They are so great. Just, you feel so powerful, and then different heroes work for different occasions. For instance, Luke and Darth Vader are great for indoors. They got their lightsabers. They're great for close quarters. But if you're going for, like, say, the last uplink on Hoth, you're going to want Boba Fett or Han Solo or Leia, because those guys aren't going to be too great out in the open. Also, the Emperor is sort of a more medium-range guy to where he can do good inside or outside, but a bit more to, like, where there's cover and stuff outside. But yeah, it's great. I love the heroes. They're so much fun, and they're powerful, and I like it. Also, they took off the timer that you had from the beta and from the previous Battlefront games, to where you would constantly drain health, and once you killed someone, you get more health. I'm happy about that, because it makes it to where the heroes play the objective more, to where they actually can. Because before it was like, okay, a hero would come, clear out an uplink, and then have to run to wherever the next bad guys were, because otherwise they die. They need to go and get help. And so now the heroes can go and sit at an uplink and defend it and activate and deactivate uplinks and stuff, and I really like that. It's pretty cool. It adds, you know, more objective play, and I haven't really seen too many heroes just go and camp in one spot and take the hero. And something else that helps with that is the fact that the heroes are constantly shown on the map, so you always know, because they're constantly shown as a red circle, so, well, as a red dot, so the enemy team can see that and be like, okay, that's where the hero is. They can go and kill them. And yeah, I think the heroes were done great. Some people be like, oh, they're too overpowered. They're supposed to be powerful. I think they did a great job with the heroes. They're all a lot of fun. But what about the game modes, you may be asking? I've been mainly talking about Walker Assault because that's probably my favorite game mode, but there are tons, well, actually not tons, but there are a good amount of game modes in this game. You have Walker Assault, which is to where an AT-AT, well, or two AT-ATs are constantly moving throughout the map to go and destroy a rebel transport, or on like certain maps like Hoth, they're trying to go and destroy the shield generators. But anyways, they're all constantly moving towards an objective. What you have to do is you have to activate these uplinks that will call in Y-wings, and then once the uplinks are done, the shields on the AT-ATs are disabled, the Y-wings will come in and you can attack the AT-ATs, and that's a really fun game. It's my favorite. Then you have Supremacy, which is where the Empire and the Rebels each have a base, and you have to go and try and capture it. Once you capture one, it moves on to the next, it pushes the enemy back, and then there's a couple of different uplinks, and once you capture all of them, you win. And that's fun too. That's the other 40-player game mode. And then since I am reviewing this now, the Battle Jakku DLC came out, and this is free DLC. That's why I'm including it in my review, because it's free to everyone. So anyways, what happens in this DLC is there's another game mode called Turning Point, which is a 40-player game mode, to where there's a couple different capture points, and only the rebels can capture them. So the rebels try to capture them, and then it moves up to the next one, and then the rebels try to capture them, moves up to the next one. The Empire has to stop them capturing, but the Empire cannot capture them back. They can just stop the rebels from capturing them. That game mode's alright. It's not my favorite, but it does force more people to play the objective, and I like that. You also have Heroes vs. Villains, which is a 6v6 game mode. You have 3 normal people and 3 heroes, and then 3 normal people and 3 villains going against each other. It's pretty fun. It's not too great, but it is pretty fun. I have a lot of fun on it, playing with my friends when we're all the heroes and stuff. It's pretty cool. You really do have to stick together, and you learn some stuff. Like, for instance, in the normal game mode, Leia is the least aggressive out of all the heroes and villains, but in that game mode, I would say Leia is probably the best in Heroes vs. Villains, because her Trooper Bane shot does massive amounts of damage and really disables the enemy. And yeah, there's also this game mode called Hero Hunt, which is my second favorite game mode in the game. It is just so much fun. It's a 7v1 game mode to where one person is a hero and the rest are these just normal guys, and they have to go and hunt them down. Whoever kills the hero gets to be the next hero. Some people don't like it because they believe it should be whoever does the most damage gets to be the hero, and I understand that, but to me, I kind of like the sort of luck to it, because it's like, okay, got time my shot, got it, and stuff like that. I do wish it was a bit more of the whole damage thing, because there are some people who literally just sit back and do not attack the hero at all and wait till the end and then they go and shoot him. I don't like that, but if you have all people playing it, it's a lot of fun. Like when me and my friends were playing it, we were going after the hero, like seeing who could get the last shot. We were just shooting him, and it was like, yes, I got it. It was so cool. It's so much fun being the hero too, because you just destroy them, and then sometimes you'll have them all just come at you at once and use like different abilities that do tons of damage, and it's like, oh dang. But Hero Hunt is just so much fun. So let's go through all of the game modes just real quick. Walker Assault, Supremacy, Turning Point, Droid Runs, Cargo, which is Capture the Flag, Drop Zone, Heroes vs. Villains, Hero Hunt, and Blast, which is Team Deathmatch. And then you have Fighter Squadron, which is their all-flying mode. I'm not going to go in-depth on all of them, but anyways, that's all the game modes. You have 10 game modes. A good amount of them are actually pretty fun. I have a lot of fun with them, and they're actually pretty populated as well, which is surprising, because if you load a game up like Black Ops 3, you pretty much only get into Team Deathmatch and Domination. But with this, I've been playing like every single game mode, and it's still a lot of fun, and there's still people playing each one. And yeah, just the game modes are pretty great in my opinion. Now, of course, you can customize your loadout in this game as well. You can choose one primary weapon out of 11, and you also have these different star cards. You have 1 charge card slot and 2 normal star card slots, and then 1 trait slot. And the star cards are just to where they're different types of things, like a pulse cannon, which is a special type of sniper. You can choose a thermal detonator if you want, and then you also have the charge cards. The charge cards, what they do is you can like click it, and it gives you ion shot, which is where you do more damage towards vehicles, and then once it wears off, it takes a bit for the cooldown, then it comes back, but it used a charge. You can pick up charges on the map, or you can buy them with the in-game currency. There's no microtransactions here, it's just in-game currency that you earn through playing the game. And then there's traits. Traits are just different, are sort of like perks, and the fact that like I have the bodyguard trait, which makes it to where I take less explosive damage. There's another trait that makes it to where when you sprint, you don't show up on the map, and these traits also go to where in-game, the better you do, like the higher you go on a kill streak, you get different levels of the trait. For instance, like for sprinting, you don't show up on the map, but then once you get to like level 3, you don't show up on the map if you're shooting your weapon either. So yeah, it's just different levels to it, and it's kind of cool. The class system's alright, it's not great or anything. You also have customization, where you can customize how your character looks. To me, this is a huge missed opportunity. Like the Rebels side customization is alright, it's meh, it's whatever. You have some cool alien races, and then on the Imperial side, there's only really one thing that two things I care to customize, and that's the Scout Trooper and the Shadow Trooper. Those are like the only two cool things. I hate that you can take off the Stormtrooper helmet. I think it's really stupid. I think it's a missed opportunity to make it to where you can customize your armor. Not like make yourself a purple Stormtrooper or anything like that, but customize like different parts of the armor and stuff, and I think it would be cool and add some more uniqueness to the Stormtroopers. But they decide not to. They make it where, hey, you can take off your helmet and have a different haircut. It's kind of stupid. Also makes it to where the fact that by the time, like in a couple months when everyone's at level 50, you're just going to be seeing Scout Troopers and Shadow Troopers everywhere. It's literally going to be everyone the exact same. And yeah, it's not that big of a gripe, but it is a huge missed opportunity. They could have done an awesome customization here. You also have different co-op missions. You have battles, missions, and training. Training are just some different, like, sort of little cool missions you can do. There's only one that I really care for, and that's the speeder bike one, which is just insanely awesome. It's so much fun. And the others are just meh. I don't really care, but you can do all of them co-op. And then you have battles, which is where you can do a 1v1 with your friend, or you can play against AI and a friend, or you can just play against AI if you want. Those are pretty fun, especially if you have a friend to play with. Like, they're a ton of fun then. Like, I've been playing the 1v1 battles with my friends. It's so much fun because you do like all these different battles. Like we did Leia versus the Emperor, which was just, it was so cool, and it was just is hilarious and everything, and it was great. And you also have survival. Survival is just your typical survival, nothing special about it. It's all right. Like I have fun doing it, but it's nothing amazing. Anyways, that's just adding more stuff to the game, having co-op. That's pretty cool. But with all that said, is there enough in this game? Is there enough content, or is it just lacking content like a lot of people have been saying? So let's just compare Star Wars Battlefront to Black Ops 3, because those are two AAA shooters that came out this year. Star Wars Battlefront has 15 maps, 10 game modes, 5 training missions, 4 battle maps, and 4 survival maps. Black Ops 3 has 12 maps, 11 game modes, a single player campaign that, from what I've heard from people who played it, takes around 6 hours to complete, and 1 whole zombies map. Yes, 1 zombies map. So, from what I can gather, Battlefront has more maps, 1 less game mode. It has training missions, and Black Ops has single player. Single player obviously trumps training missions because single player is longer. The missions, to me, trump zombies. I mean, I'm not exactly in love with zombies, but I have fun playing it. But it's 1 map, and no one got on Treyarch or anything about, hey, why'd you only include 1 zombies map? That's lacking content. To where Star Wars Battlefront has 4 battle maps and 4 survival maps. I can tell you right now, I've had way more fun doing 1v1 battles with Darth Vader and Luke and other characters with my friends than I have playing zombies with my friends. And I'm just saying that I would say they're about equal in content. So a lot of people would say, no, Black Ops 3 has way more content, Battlefront's like half the game. Not really. Even though there's only 4 maps for the 40-player game mode, there's a bunch more maps for the others. And also, yes, I am including the free DLC because at the time of the review, this is out. The free DLC is out, and it's free for everyone, so why wouldn't I include it? That makes no sense. Everyone's going to have it anyways. So, yeah, I would just say that it's basically got the same amount of content as any other game. It does lack a single player, but I honestly don't care because the single players were not what I cared about in the former Battlefront games. In Battlefront 2, the single player was literally just multiplayer, but with a story set to it. And so they just had a few cutscenes. And with Battlefront 1, the single player was literally just text before a fight. He just went from different planets, and they had text explaining what the story was, and then you would fight, and it was basically the same as multiplayer. So the single players weren't exactly that in-depth in the prior Battlefront games. And when this Battlefront was announced, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I can't wait to play the single player. No, I couldn't wait to play the multiplayer. Now, what Battlefront is missing is Galactic Conquest, which was one of my favorite things to do in the past Battlefront games. It's really missing that. It needs it. It's really stupid that they didn't add that in. It's also missing space battles. Yes, it has Fighter Squadron, which is fun and all, but they needed space battles. Space battles were so much fun. Everyone had their different style of play. Some people would fight outside the ships and try to like take each other out. Others would go and just attack the ship, the main ships themselves. Others would go inside, which was me. I would go inside and I'd take down the ship from the inside. I'd kill people inside, and then I would go and shoot like the shield generators and the engine and stuff. It was a lot of fun, and it's really missing that. But as far as a single player campaign goes, no, I honestly don't care. I would have liked instant action. That's what I did a lot in prior Battlefront. But instant action isn't that big of a loss either because I've been playing mainly online. That's what I would still be mainly playing, but instant action is something they should have added in because that's a staple of the Battlefront franchise. Something else this game really needs is auto balance. I can't tell you how many times I've played a game and then just like wrecked the other team and everyone rage quit, so then it turns into like a 16v5 game. It's like, yeah, that's not good. There's no auto balance, which is stupid. It needs it, but that's something a simple patch could fix. And also they need to balance partners. For instance, like I'll be playing and then my partner just quits, so I have to spawn so far back in the Battlefront. Like I need to spawn farther up, but I have nobody to spawn on. They spawn you so far back because everyone complained in the beta about spawn killing, so they spawn you super far back and it takes forever to get there if you don't have a partner. So yeah, it's like they need to do that because I'll just quit out, and I know there's someone else out there who does not have a partner as well, but it won't partner me up with anyone, and that's stupid. They need to balance that out as well. Battlefront is a game with 10 years of hype behind it. I've been waiting so long for new Battlefront. We've finally got it, and honestly, I've been having a ton of fun with it. It's lived up to my expectations. The gameplay is great. Something else I forgot to mention earlier, headshots can really change the tide of a 1v1 battle. When you're facing off against someone, if you get that headshot, it does a ton of damage, and that's another thing that aim comes in. And yeah, just the core gameplay is so much fun. I love going around Walker Soul. It feels like an epic battle. Indoor, while very unbalanced and very sided to the rebels, it's my favorite map. It looks amazing. It plays like a dream. It's so much fun. Another thing for technical stuff is I run this game completely on Ultra. Again, I'm playing on PC with everything on Ultra, and I'll have my specs in the description, and it runs at around 110 FPS for me. It dips from like 100 to 110 FPS. That's where it runs for me, and that's on my system, and it's great. This game is gorgeous. It plays like a dream. I love it. The core gameplay is so much fun, so satisfying too. Feels great taking down a group of enemies, and once you pick up a hero, that is just, you just go and wreck, and it's so much fun. But anyways, bottom line for this game, I would say, is that it's a lot of fun. Like, I haven't had this much fun in a video game in a long time. And another thing is, this game's pretty unique too. Like, there's nothing else like it that I can compare it to. I would say there hasn't been a game like this since Battlefront 2. There really hasn't. There's nothing else I can compare it to. So it's nice. It's a breath of fresh air from all these different FPS games and stuff. It feels nothing like Battlefield to me, but it plays a lot like, well, not a lot, but it does play more like Battlefront 2 than any other game I've played. And it's unique. It's fun, and I love it. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yes, there are some issues with it, but I've been having so much fun that I can ignore those small issues, and it's great. But anyways, those are just my opinions on this game. Please let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of the game if you have played it? Yay or nay, what are your guys' thoughts on it? I just, like, there's no other game that gives me the feeling that this game does. I can go pick up a hero and just start destroying. I get to be Luke, Darth Vader, whoever I want to be, and it's so great. The core gameplay, I can just go around, I'm shooting lasers, I'm in the Battle of Hoth and stuff like that. It's so cool. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.